What's going on? What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I am your humble host, Cigars with Mac. Today, we're going to talk about why I don't take on other people's problems. Yeah. Why I don't take on other people's problems. But before we dive into the topic today, I want to ask you to first and foremost download, like, follow, and share on your favorite podcasting platform. Whatever that podcasting platform is. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, you name it, I'm there. The Cigars and Mac podcast is omnipresent virtually. We're everywhere, you know. Also, we're also on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like and share the podcast. Also, if you want to support the podcast financially, hit us up on Cash App at $Cigars with Mac. $Cigars with Mac. If you have any show topics or you want to discuss business, email us at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. info@cigarswithmacpod.com. If you want to hit the line, the number is 682-227-1780. 682-227-1780. 682-227-1780. Man, I'm up here looking at the news lately, and man, everybody's been turning on Trump, man. You know, after the insurrection at on the Capitol, you know, and those people are actually getting prosecuted. Now, I don't know if it'll stick, but they're definitely getting prosecuted. And I mean, Trump has been banned on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Hell, I even heard he got banned on MySpace. Nah, I'm just playing. But why y'all ban my boy Trump, man? Today, I'm smoking an Oliva Series V. And, yeah, man, everybody's turning on Trump, man, and the Republicans. These companies are backing out their financial support. You talk about people... You talk about people jumping ship, boy. God, dog. I typically don't, when I'm podcasting by myself, I don't typically laugh a lot because I'm trying to keep a serious face. But man, this shit is funny. But all jokes aside, man, that just shows you right there, people are only loyal until it really counts. You know? And this kind of segues into what we're talking about today. Why I don't take on other people's problems. Well, one reason why is because it's not my problem. I can definitely be sympathetic to people. But as far as taking on their problems, nah. You know, and what do I mean by that? For instance, I know something that most women do a lot is if one chick is mad, you know, they're in the clique, then you know, the other chick is mad at her because that's her friend and she's being loyal and this, that, and the third. But as I get older, I've learned that You got to stop taking on other people's problems. You know? You got to stop doing that. Why? Because that's not your fight. That's not your fight. That's why the podcast I did a couple of podcasts ago, where I was talking about fill your cup with which was inspired by a well-renowned coach. You know, fill your cup. You're not good to anybody else until you begin to be good to yourself. And the older I get, the more that really makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're in a sinking sand, how are you going to help somebody else in a sinking sand? You can't. It's impossible. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. I hate to bust your bubble, but you can't do it, man. Now, with taking on other people's problems, that doesn't mean you can't help people if you can help them. That's not taking on their problem. That's just helping them. For instance, if someone asks you for gas money or need to borrow a couple of dollars, you're not necessarily engulfing yourself with their problems. You're just helping them. Because I've learned in some cases, you got to let people figure out stuff for themselves. Why? Because you're really doing a disservice when you start taking on their problems and trying to help them figure things out that they should be able to figure out themselves. But what I've learned is when you take on people's problems, you really take on their problems. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if you have a family member who's married, male or female, it doesn't matter, and they're married to their spouse, and they're going through things, and they're telling you what's going on, and you're sucking all this information in, and then next thing you know, you mad at your brother-in-law or sister-in-law or son-in-law or daughter-in-law, when at the end of the day, that person is going to end up going back to them anyway. And now you done created a beef with that spouse while your loved one is still with them. And it's really just, it becomes bad when it's really unnecessary. You don't want to do that because that individual could actually be an ally to you someday. Nothing wrong with listening to people's problems, but at the end of the day, don't you carry that burden, because why is not your problem? You know? I'm not saying don't be concerned, but you can be concerned, but from a distance. Don't go to calling that individual, asking them what's going on. Why? Because it's just simply not your problem. Don't do it. Don't do it. I can remember being a kid. You know, your homeboy, he about to fight somebody and beefing with somebody, and then you jump in it and you don't know what the hell going on. Now, see, I expect that from children, but when you become an adult, you cannot have that same mentality, because I'm going to tell you the truth, you really won't go far in life like that. Steady taking on people's problems, steady, creating enemies. Don't do that. Now, I found a nice little article, and I love interjecting articles into the podcast, because it just, man, it really backs up what I'm saying. And here's the article. The article is from omnipositive.com. It's titled Seven Powerful Behaviors to Stop Absorbing Other People's Energy. We can look at it like that, their energy, you know? All right, let's get started. 1, discover your unresolved issues. See, while you're taking on other people's problems and energy, you have unresolved stuff going on. You have things going on in your own life that you need to get fixed. Like me and a friend of mine say, man, I'm working on myself daily. It's a fight within me daily. I don't have time to take on anybody else's problems and issues. And I've always been like that. You got unresolved issues in yourself. How you going to help somebody else? And how you going to take on their issues, their burdens, their problems when you got stuff going on with you internally and externally? And I'm not going to spend too long on these behaviors. I'm going to just hit on a little bit. We're going to move on. Number 2, express yourself 100%. Let people know 100%. Be real with them why you can't take on their problems. And if they can't accept that, oh well. If they can't accept why you don't want to deal with their issues, deal with their burdens, then that may not be the person you need to have in your life anyway. And that's something I learned. People got to accept that, man, that you just cannot do it. Don't lie to them. Don't tell them, don't bullshit them as to why you can't take on their problems and issues. Be real with them. Be 100%. Be real with yourself. That's the first thing you need to do. Be real with you as to why you can't take on their problems. Just tell them right now, I can't do it. I got too much going on in my life. I'm in school. I'm working out my marriage. Me and my spouse are in counseling. Whatever you got going on, let them know. Be transparent about that. And if they can't accept that, shit, fuck them. That's just what it is, man. You ain't got time to be dealing with that crap. You know? All right. You're not responsible for others. I interpret that as you're not responsible for other people, other than those who your spouse, your children, people in your guardianship that you're responsible for legally and financially. You're responsible for them. But as far as people trying to involve you in their circumstances, you're not responsible for them. You're just not. You're not responsible for them. You wasn't left in charge of their life. I mean, for some people, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a pill to swallow nonetheless. You know? The next behavior pattern is find your environment. Now I'm going to read on this one. It says it's not all about the outer environment. It's especially about the inner environment. It's never where you are at. It's when you feel you are at. Now, that's a deep one right there. I don't even think I need to expound on that. The next behavior pattern is let go of the need to be validated. What does that mean? You don't need validation from people. You don't need people to know you're a true friend to them. The fact that you're able to tell them the truth as to why you cannot absorb their energy or take on their problems should be enough. I'm going to tell you right now, something I've learned to do is stop explaining yourself to people. I notice a lot of people on social media, especially people who have a big platform, they feel the need to explain themselves, validate themselves, argue their point of view as to why they do such and such or why they believe in such and such. It's really nobody's business. Now, I understand that some ways, if you have an audience, you have to explain certain things. I get that. But as far as people in your inner circle, when they're trying to, again, get you to take on their problems, you don't have to tell them why you can't do it. You can tell them, hey, this is what's going on. And that's it. You don't have to explain to them the details behind that. Because it's really not even important. People want to be validated is such a, it's such a big thing nowadays. I never get that. Why do you feel the need to validate yourself to people? You gotta validate yourself to nobody. It's not your place to do that. You're not accountable to these people. This quote says, once you love yourself 100%, once you trust yourself 100%, once you have confidence in yourself 100%, you begin to validate yourself. You validate yourself. The next behavior pattern is the invitation. What does that mean? That means stop inviting people into your domain. You know? Because people wouldn't come to you unless you invited them there. I find it funny when people are out in the wilderness fucking with animals they have no business fucking with. And then when the damn animal bites them or injures them horribly, they're sitting around wondering, why did the damn lion bite me? Well, you're in their domain. They didn't invite you into the Serengeti. You decided to go into the Serengeti and go lion hunting or lion watching, and you got something you didn't expect. So you can't get mad when the damn lion bites you. It's almost as bad as trying to domesticate a wild animal. You can't do that. It's a wild animal for a reason. But people wouldn't come in and put their burdens on you unless you okayed it. And now you gotta un-okay it. You got to take away their authorization. The next point is do not pay attention. It says when you wake up in the morning, you only have so much energy. Throughout the day, you use their energy by giving it to people and things around you until the end of the day where there's almost nothing left and you feel tired and you go to sleep again. It says what you have to understand is that some people fill you with energy and some people drain your energy. The people that drain you of your energy are called energy vampires. I'm kind of skipping through the article. It says, by uplifting yourself, you uplift everyone around you. If you allow somebody to pull you down, then you are actually doing a disservice to all your other friends and to all your other families. And I will say you're doing a disservice to yourself. It says, by allowing one person to pull you down, you are not allowing you to uplift your other friends and family members that are around you who could be uplifted by just your presence. It says, when you pay someone attention, you are essentially give them energy. Let me say that one more time. When you pay someone attention, you are essentially giving them energy. You have to change your focus to stop absorbing other people's energy. This quote says, whatever you focus on grows. Are you focusing on what you want, or are you focusing on what you fear? Remember, this article comes from omnipositive.com. Again, omnipositive.com. And just type in, or you can type in 7 powerful behaviors to stop absorbing other people's energy. And you'll find when you take on other people's problems, like I said before, you really take on their problems. And sometimes it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to take on other people's problems, y'all. It really is. There's no point in doing that. You ever met some people, they always got something going on. They never have money. Their lights always getting cut off. Phone always getting cut off. Cars always getting repossessed. They just, man, it's just something about them. It's like, damn, what are you attracting? What are you putting your energy into? You got to stop doing that, people. And it's something I learned a long time ago. I told myself, I refuse to take on other people's problems. I refuse to. And I don't expect people to take on my problems. Does that mean you're not being a good friend or family member? No, it means, in fact, you are being a good friend and family member by understanding that, hey, I can't take on your problems. I just can't. I have to focus on me and better myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Understand, sometimes in life, you have to be a little selfish. Sometime in life, you do have to be a bit self-centered. It's kind of like if you're in medical school and you're almost at the end and you're in your residency and you're almost there, and somebody comes to you with all these insurmountable problems, and you're like, man, I got so much on my plate. I'm in residency. I'm almost there, man. Let me deal with you when I get done with this. And that person may get mad, but that's okay. I've discovered in life, some people I can just do without. Some people you got to learn to just do without in your life, man, because they mean you no good. Straight up. And that's not mean. That's not being hateful. It's just like, man, I got to take care of myself right now. Some people, you know, in your circle, they have so much potential. They have so much $1 million or $1 billion potential in them, but they focus on the wrong energy. And it's like, man, what are you doing with yourself? Something else I've learned is you got to stop being loyal to people who aren't loyal to you. Let me say that one more time. You got to stop being loyal to people who are not loyal to you. Something else I've learned is stop supporting people who don't support you. If people don't support you when you have a business, don't support them. A lot of times people say kill them with kindness. I don't believe in that theory. I believe in give no energy to people who give no energy to you. If people treat you like a side piece, you return the favor and treat them like a side piece. Meaning you deal with them whenever you deal with them, when you feel like dealing with them. Y'all, that's all I gotta say on this topic, man. I could go on and on and on, but I wanted to give you some real meat to chew on. And with that being said, don't forget to download, like, follow, and share the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the podcast. If you have any show topics, email us at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. Also, if you got any topics, hit us up at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. Or if you want to hit me up on my line, you can text me or call me 682-227-1780. If you want to support us financially, hit us up on Cash App, $Cigars with Mac, $Cigars with Mac, and we out.